And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akugha. We begin today's package with a report on politics in Delta State, where Governor Ifeanyi OKOWA is being accused of hatching a plot to produce his successor in office. Next in our lineup is a report on the people's reaction to the recent passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill PIB by the National Assembly. We will, in the course of the program, bring you an update on the ongoing forensic audit of the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC as field forensic auditors in Rivers and Delta states make substantial progress in their assignment. And finally, in today's package is a report on the conclusion of a mandatory 2-week mourning period observed by the ITSEKIRI nation in honor of the late Ulu of Warri Kingdom, OGAIME IKENWOLI I. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. Consistent with Senator Ifeanyi OKOWA's political permutations, the politics of 2023 has begun in earnest in Delta State. With his recent actions and utterances, Senator OKOWA is seen to be making frantic efforts to build a political empire in the oil-rich state. This situation, former PDP chairman in Delta State and now APC member Senator Peter NWABOSHI says is to enable Governor OKOWA single-handedly determine his successor and indeed the political future of Delta State. Senator NWABOSHI, however, alerts Governor OKOWA to be ready for a political battle as he's ready to do what it takes to torpedo the efforts of Governor OKOWA, whom PDP members in Delta State like to call Ekweme.
As the scramble for who will replace Dr. OKOWA comes, I want to reassure you that in the next 1 month, we will start the politics. We are politicians and politics will have to be played.
As promised, Governor OKOWA has since last month intensified political activities in Delta State in preparedness for the 2023 elections. Prior to that, he had dissolved his cabinet and fired key officers, including his chief of staff and secretary to the state government, both of whom are known loyalists of former Delta Governor Chief James Onanefe Ibori. Though Governor OKOWA had attributed the decision to political distractions of the appointees, former PDP chairman in Delta State and now APC member Senator Peter NWABOSHI says OKOWA is only trying to set up a new political structure that would enable him single-handedly decide his successor and indeed decide the political destiny of Delta State.
I don't want trouble in this state. Some of us have put our life on the line to fight for this power shift, which is a beneficiary today. When you believe that you are now a supreme man, that you have acquired so much money, so much wealth and power, and you can make a statement, nobody can make a governor in this state. Governorship of this state must be made by the people of this state, not by one man, because every man has only one vote. And we are going to make sure that the next governor must be a collective decision of the people of Delta State, not by an individual. If one man thinks he can sit in his office, in the comfort of his office, and say this person is going to be the governor, we will make sure that person is not the governor. Because we all have what it takes to fight.
In responding to Senator NWABOSHI's accusations, Senator OKOWA has consistently maintained that it was not within his powers to determine his successor in office, describing such allegations as the machinations of mischievous politicians.
Power belongs to God, and only God will determine who is going to succeed me. I say so. I not talk am, but as I talk am, they vex some people. I don't know why they vex them all.
As a demonstration of his readiness to battle Governor OKOWA politically, Senator NWABOSHI last month realigned himself politically by defecting to the All Progressives Congress APC. The senator representing Delta North Senatorial District in the Senate was personally received by President Muhammadu Buhari, who described the lawmakers' move as a good omen for the APC in Delta State. Senator NWABOSHI had also accused Governor OKOWA of planning to destroy the political harmony in the state when he served notice to all Deltans that the senatorial zoning arrangement in the state for the governorship position was not formally agreed upon or written down anywhere.
There has been no formal meeting in which a gentleman's agreement was reached as of today. So it means that whatever we're doing or talking about today is about what is fair, what is equitable.
I'm very disappointed with the governor. Very, very disappointed with that statement he made. I've passed through a lot of problems at the risk of my life to fight for the power shift in Delta State, which is a beneficiary today. And at the tail end of your tenure, you are now saying that there was no written agreement. I find it extremely difficult to believe that such a thing will happen.
Following his recent politically strategic moves to hire and fire appointees in the state, some observers had accused Governor OKOWA of making moves to undermine the James Ibori political structure. Governor OKOWA, however, denies such accusations, saying no one can pit him against the former governor.
For those who want to play politics, he want through and one kind way. He thinks say we go just grab and begin the talk, make me and my former governors the quarrel. Me and the former governors, we know the quarrel. No stranger can cause a quarrel between me and the former governors.
With Governor OKOWA's recent moves, Chief James Onanefe Ibori, an experienced politician, however, does not need anyone to tell him when the carpet is being pulled from under his feet. Perhaps a reminder of Chief Ibori's political capital came recently from the president of the Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Okaba. While receiving members of the Pan-Urhobo political group DC23, Professor Okaba had told them that the Delta Ijaw people would support anyone that has affinity with James Ibori. Whatever future actions Governor OKOWA takes going forward, it must be one that ensures unity in his party and avoid more people leaving the party. Already, the loss of Senator NWABOSHI means the PDP in Delta State now have only one senator, leaving 2 senatorial districts to the APC. This definitely is a huge challenge the PDP must fight hard to overcome in the next political dispensation. Already, the APC in Delta State is feeling confident it will turn the tables in 2023.
Come 2023, most of the Egyptians you see in the zone, you'll not see them anymore. I'm very, very confident that come 2023, APC will sweep Delta State and sweep most of the South. And you can take that to the bank.
The early commencement of political activities ahead of 2023 will undoubtedly regale political spectators with many interesting scenes in the days ahead. However, one obvious challenge posed by this development is that governance in Delta State will most likely be sacrificed at the altar of politics. At the center of it all is Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, who will be remembered for his actions when he leaves office as the 3rd democratically elected governor of Delta State since 1999.
Inside the Niger Delta.
For most interest groups in the Niger Delta, the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB) should be viewed with cautious optimism by oil-producing communities in Nigeria's oil-rich region. While they commend the National Assembly for demonstrating the political will to pass the PIB, interested parties in the Niger Delta insist that the 3% Host Communities Development Fund approved recently in the anticipated petroleum law by the Senate was grossly inadequate to effectively tackle the crisis of underdevelopment rocking the Niger Delta region. Correspondent Lovely Ofigo has more.
After many years of mismanaging Nigeria's petroleum industry, the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB) was conceived as a legislative framework to enthrone transparency in the industry and make it more investment-friendly and profitable. The proposed law was also introduced to foster better regulation and increase equity participation of host communities in the petroleum industry. In spite of the laudable objectives of the PIB, its passage had been stalled since it was first introduced on the floor of the National Assembly in 2008.
That particular bill has had a very tortuous journey through the 2 chambers of the National Assembly.
While they commend the 9th Assembly for demonstrating the courage to revive Nigeria's ailing petroleum industry with the passage of the PIB, Most Niger Deltans are not comfortable with the 3% Host Communities Development Fund approved by the National Assembly in the proposed petroleum law. Recall that in February 2021, Inside the Niger Delta reported key issues in the PIB that degenerated into physical combat between factional groups of host communities producing oil and gas at the public hearing on PIB organized by the House of Representatives. One of the key issues in question was the argument between both factions over 2.5% of production quantum or 10% equity.
My position, the host community position is 2.5% of production quantum should be given to the host community. If you produce 100 billion of crude oil or 100 million of crude oil, give 2.5% to the community.
It was a sponsored attack, not on my very self, but for the voice of the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas on our demand on 10% equity participation shareholding.
With the provisions of Section 257, subsections 2 and 3, transferring liabilities of damaged crude oil and gas facilities on host communities in the PIB, most Niger Deltans are worried that the 3% approved for development of their communities would definitely not serve its intended purpose.
I have to call on communities to endeavor to talk to their youth to protect pipelines within their communities, because if any pipeline is busted in any community today, the blame will be on the communities. The 3% so far allocated to communities will no longer be there because the money will be used to clean up the environment.
Why should the host community pay for vandalism? Is the host community completely responsible for securing the place? Are there contracts or design? There is nothing in the law that makes it their responsibility, so why should they pay? If it is not established that the activity is from the host community, why should the host community pay in the event of vandalism, sabotage, or any other civil unrest?
While some concerned Niger Deltans are demanding an upward review of the Host Communities Development Fund in the PIB to 5% as canvassed by their political representatives in the Senate, others insist that nothing short of 10% would suffice to deal with the negative consequences of decades of oil exploration and exploitation in the Niger Delta. In reaction to the passage of the PIB by the Senate, governors of the southern states, after the Southern Governors Forum held in Lagos on Monday, 5th July 2021, lent their voice to the beleaguered host communities by rejecting the 3% equity and demanding an upward review to 5%.
I think that they should agree on the 5% equity stake for host communities, because what is the 5%? The 5% is 5% after operational cost. And so it's just sharing 5% or giving 5% of profit to host communities. It is not a big deal.
The proposed Petroleum Industry Act, when it finally receives presidential assent to become law, will replace the extant Petroleum Act of 1969 and transform operations in the petroleum industry. While it promises to generate more income for the country, oil and gas host communities in the Niger Delta look forward to a fair share of revenues accruing from exploiting of the black gold, which has made life uncomfortable for them in over 6 decades.
Inside the Niger Delta. Introducing from the heart of Nigeria's Niger Delta region, a residential estate like no other, Victoria Creek Gardens Estate, VCG2 Airport Road, Port Harcourt, River State. A blend of aesthetics, functionality and simplicity built into 600 units of safe and comfortable accommodation. Located in an urban serene environment, VCG2 Estate is just 5 minutes away from the Port Harcourt International Airport. It features an already built police station, a shopping mall, hospital, hotel, cinema, club, gym, playground and many other facilities for your comfort. Purchase a home at our irresistible offer today for you and your family, or just simply invest in our real estate for a fantastic return on investments. For more information, call us on 070-410-01558 or visit our office at Plot 14 Woji Road, GRA Phase 2, Port Harcourt. Victoria Creek Gardens Estate, oasis in the garden.
I know people, an ancient collection of tribes. A civilization that spawned magic from bronze. A people of culture and heritage, reclaiming their civilization from the sea of self-doubt, one idea at a time. Every river feeding an ocean like believers to a dream. Every legacy has its story, and yours is about to begin. Heritage Bank, your timeless wealth partner.
Azikeo Group. Oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Azikeo Group. Petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has confirmed that ongoing physical verification of its projects in rivers and delta states by field forensic auditors has reached an advanced stage and will soon be completed. This was made known to journalists by the River State Office of the NDDC and its Delta State counterpart during a recent tour of project sites by field forensic auditors in both states. Correspondent Chika Bodozie completes the story.
In April this year, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Godswill Akpabio, inaugurated field forensic auditors to commence physical verification of over 12,000 projects awarded by the NDDC across 9 states of the Niger Delta from its inception in 2001 to 2019. At the inauguration, Senator Akpabio described the physical verification of projects as a critical phase of the ongoing forensic audit of the NDDC and charged officials of the Commission to cooperate with the field forensic auditors to achieve their mandate.
This phase is extremely important, so you must give all the cooperation that they require, both in terms of logistics, in terms of any requirement, whether it is file, whether it is document or otherwise.
In line with the ministerial directive, the Delta State Office of the NDDC in Warri, under the leadership of Engineer Emmanuel Audu, is working closely with the field forensic auditors to ensure that over 2,000 projects awarded by the NDDC in the period under review were captured in the ongoing forensic exercise.
We have done everything possible to ensure that the auditors have a quiet atmosphere to work and cooperation of every NDDC staff in the Warri office. And so far, both the security team and the field officers, they've always reported cooperation, even with the community members, even the owners of the projects. There'll be no problem at all.
River State, which plays host to the NDDC headquarters in Port Harcourt, has over 3,000 projects awarded by the NDDC. In their determination to capture all NDDC project sites across 23 local government areas of the state, the field forensic auditors have had cause to travel to remote coastal villages to carry out their assignment.
So for us here, the audit has made me I feel better now. Because a lot of people make accusations. Some people say NDDC doesn't have nothing to show for it. But now we now have pictorial and physical evidence of what NDDC is doing. And so maybe at the end of the day, we'll be able to juxtapose it with what other part of arm of government to have done, state government, local government, what have they done?
In the course of the ongoing physical verification of NDDC projects, it was discovered that some of them have been completed and are already in use. 2 of such projects are donation of desks to Community Secondary School Norwa in Tai local government area of River State and successful completion of contracts awarded for the construction of internal roads at Rumo Dumaya in Obiakpo local government area of River State.
The chairs they sent to us, fine, is okay. We're happy about the forensic audit so that more activities of NDDC will be showcased too and more will come to us too.
If not for NDDC, I don't know how the condition of this area would have been, because we know what we went through. NDDC has done a lot. And if you go to other areas like Apambabeke, there's a place we call Apambabeke, NDDC has actually done a good job there too.
The forensic audit of NDDC activities over a period of 20 years was instituted in October 2019 to address the challenges of corruption and institutional weakness bedeviling the Commission. On completion of the ongoing exercise in a few weeks' time, the final report will be sent to President Muhammadu Buhari, who will in turn mandate the incoming board of the NDDC to implement its outcome. Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The 2-week-long mourning period observed by Shekiris in honor of the late Olu of Warri Kingdom, His Royal Majesty OGAIME IKENWOLI I, was concluded recently with traditional rites performed at ITSEKIRI, traditional headquarters of the Shekiri nation. With the successful completion of the traditional mourning period, Shekiris, who came from far and near to witness the 2-week-long traditional and cultural festivities, say they now look forward to the reconciliation of all the Shekiris and eventual coronation of Olu designate Prince Shola EMIKO on August 21st, 2021. From the Delta boat yard in Warri, the Shekiris all queuing up and trying to get on a boat for a 4-minute ride to ITSEKIRI, their ancestral headquarters, for the final day of 2 weeks of traditional and cultural activities, marking the final burial rites of OGAIME IKENWOLI I, the 20th Olu of Warri Kingdom. Different traditional and cultural dances were performed daily for the 2 weeks by different communities in the Shekiri land. This dance, performed by Ologbo community, is known as Ibiogbe Ologbo.
Ibiogbe Ologbo is our traditional dance. You can see that all the song is Benin. That is to tell you the first Ishekiri king, Prince Ginowa, is from Benin Kingdom. He's a crown prince of Benin Kingdom, son of Obaoluwa. And the first Iyashere is also from Benin Kingdom.
From the Ugboloposo community, the Ogiri dance was performed in honor of the late monarch. Ogono dance is from Daleketa community.
The Ogono dance is one very unique and special dance being presented by the Shekiris, used in entertaining kings and very eminent personalities. The reason you are seeing it is because of His Majesty OGAIME IKENWOLI, who has gone to join his ancestors.
From Koko community, the company dance was also performed. Ugbege community is from Warri North local government area. They performed the Mobolua dance.
It's called Mobolua. Mobolua, the ordinary meaning is that we came with the king. It's not a dance that is performed every day. It's not a dance that is performed annually. It's a special dance performed only for royalties, particularly at a time like this when we are celebrating the demise of Our Majesty OGAIME IKENWOLI.
The 2 weeks of festivities were also witnessed by friends of the Shekiri nation who daily visited ITSEKIRI to be part of the final burial rites for OGAIME IKENWOLI.
It has been a fantastic experience for me, and the late OGAIME was a very good friend and a very good man. The Shekiris, as I know them to be, they have very, fantastic cultural display. And it's been interesting to watch them do their thing.
With the period of mourning now over, the Shekiris are now focusing on reconciliation and unity to ensure a hitch-free coronation next month.
We intend to crown the 21st Olu of Warri. So unity should be our watchword for us to all unite, work together for the success of the coronation of the next Olu.
At this occasion now, what we have now is the coronation of the Omoba, which is Shola, Prince Shola EMIKO. I will encourage every Ishekiris to come together and have one voice to crown our king so that we can move the community ahead.
So after 2 weeks of high-level cultural and traditional activities marking the final burial rites of OGAIME IKENWOLI I, the 20th Olu of Warri here in ITSEKIRI, also known as Big Warri, the Ishekiris are now looking forward to August 21st, 2021, the day set aside for the coronation of the 21st Olu of Warri Kingdom.
Inside the Niger Delta.
And with that report, we draw the curtain on the program. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screen. Until next week, do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. I am Mamode Akugha, thanking you for staying with us. Bye for now.